The information provided in this video is general in nature. Please consult with your registered migration agent or solicitor based on your personal circumstances before making any decision. This program is brought to you by Baba Education Consultancy, versatile service with a personal touch.
नमस्कार, म हुँ मदन कोइराला र तपाईं सम्पूर्णलाई मेरो युट्युब च्यानलमा स्वागत छ। अस्ट्रेलिया सम्बन्धी कुनै पनि जानकारी या कुनै पनि भिजा, माइग्रेसन, यहाँको जीवनशैली, रहनसहन लगायतका तपाईको कुनै पनि जिज्ञासा छ, प्रश्न छ, क्वेरीजहरु छ भने ती क्वेरीजहरुको उत्तर दिनु हेतुका साथ हामीले सुरु गरेको कार्यक्रम स्टडी इन अस्ट्रेलिया प्रश्न उत्तरको एपिसोड 11 मा हामी आइपुगेको छौं र आजको कार्यक्रममा पनि तपाईहरुको प्रश्नको उत्तर लिएर हामी आइपुगेका छौं भने आजको कार्यक्रममा हामीसँग विशेष अतिथिका रूपमा हुनुहुन्छ रजिस्टर्ड माइग्रेसन एजेन्ट बसन्त खरेल। उहाँले आज तपाईहरुको प्रश्नको उत्तर दिनुहुनेछ र ढिलो नगरिकन उहाँलाई स्वागत गर्दै पहिलो प्रश्न तपाईहरुको माझमा प्रस्तुत गर्न चाहन्छु र आजको लागि पहिलो प्रश्न यस प्रकारको रहेको छ।
I am in New South Wales, just completed Bachelors of IT and in bridging for 485. Do not have experience in related field. What are the PR pathways?
From a PR perspective or from a migration law perspective, it is important what occupation you can get a skill assessed in rather than what course you are currently doing. We would need more information as to what skill assessment or what occupation you would satisfy. For example, a developer, programmer and software engineer are on PMSOL list. Given that you meet all the validity and eligibility requirement and you have got enough points, yes, you would be able to apply for PR, but we need further details to it.
I am nearly going to complete Bachelors of Community Service. How about it in terms of PR?
As I said before, the important matter is what occupation you can get a skill assessment in, regardless of whether you do bachelor's or diploma. You would go to get a skill assessment for a particular occupation, such as community worker. I would say the advantage of doing bachelor is you'll be eligible for 2 years post-study visa as opposed to 1.5 years from a diploma course.
What about Bachelors in Human Service?
I think we're repeating the same question here again. Bachelor of Human Service is a course that you intend to do, but we need to identify what occupation you would like to get a skill assessment in. It appears that the Human Service Bachelor's degree would also qualify for community welfare worker, community service worker, and something along those lines. We would need to see whether or not the course you are intending to do satisfies the requirement for a skill assessment, and there are various other requirements with the skill assessment authority. We have to look into further details about it.
I have finished my diploma community services and now I'm in middle of Bachelors of Community Service. अब मैले डिप्लोमाबाट नै एप्लाई गर्न मिल्छ?
Straight answer, yes, you can apply. As long as you satisfy the requirement for skill assessment from ACWA. It is divided on 3 components. One is qualification, another one is experience, and English. If you do it via diploma, you may be able to get a graduate visa for 1.5 years, whereas if you complete a bachelor's degree, you would be eligible for 2 years PSW.
Can you please let me know if we can get 189 through commercial cookery in Sydney, and please let me know the points to get it. Thank you.
To answer your question, if you are from commercial cookery, there are two pathways. One is to have skill assessment as a cook, the another is chef. Chef is on a medium to long-term occupation list, whereas cook is on a short-term occupation list. If you are talking about chef, yes, you are legally eligible to apply for 189 as long as you get the invitation, but it is also dependent on the points you have, the experience you have, and the competitiveness that is in the pipeline. If you are talking about cook, it is only on short-term occupation list, hence you can only do 190 and 491 and other employer-sponsored visas.
Can we get points from both bachelor's and master's degree, or we get point from only one?
Unfortunately, you can only claim 15 points. That's a maximum for bachelor's or master's. You wouldn't be able to claim from both.
Hello sir, मेरो स्टुडेन्ट भिजा अब सकिन लाग्छ, बट डिपेन्डेन्टको भिजा आएर आउन पाएन। अर्को भिजा हाल्दा आउने कतिको चान्स हुन्छ, आउने नआउने?
Getting a visa to Australia, getting visa approved is one thing, and and having a right to enter to Australia is another. Because of the COVID restriction, you need to have exemption that is granted to be able to enter Australia. It doesn't matter whether or not you have visa. In terms of applying other visa, you can put the case forward and explain why you would need another visa and why the person wasn't able to travel in the time frame.
पोर्चुगलको पासपोर्ट छ, त्यहाँ कसरी एप्लाई गरेर आउन मिल्छ? Can you explain me the process please?
The process for applying Australian visa is same. You can apply for a student visa. If you are a skilled worker, you can apply for employer sponsored visa or skilled work visa. You may have some advantage because of the assessment level, because you have come from Portugal and you're a holder of Portuguese passport. But other than that, you still follow the same requirement as a Nepalese citizen, other than assessment level and some other criteria.
ग्रेजुएसनमा आफूभन्दा सानो एजको भाइलाई भिजिट भिजामा बोलाउँदा भिजा लाग्ने चान्स कतिको हुन्छ होला? My brother is +2 passed out.
Definitely he can apply for a visa. There is no such thing as unable to apply for a visa. Every student visa has to meet a criteria called GTE, Genuine Temporary Entrant Criteria, that involves demonstration of incentive to return to his home country. If you can substantiate that with documents, he should be able to apply for a visa.
अहिले एज केयरमा पनि more than 20 hours गर्नु मिल्छ कि मिल्दैन स्टुडेन्टले?
Yes, this rule was brought in to help the COVID pandemic crisis back in September 2020. As long as it is an approved aged care provider, yes, you should be able to do it. But if you work on a specific aged care provider, we need to check that individually.
दाइ, चाइल्ड केयरको PR छ कि नै?
Ideally, I would like to have more information about this. As a childcare worker is an occupation that is only on regional occupation list. Hence, you are eligible to apply for 494 as long as you meet 3 years of full-time work experience and you have got an employer that is willing to sponsor you. In terms of childcare center manager, yes, it is on a medium to long-term occupation list, but you would need experience and other requirements to satisfy the skill assessment criteria.
Dai, currently I am studying Bachelor's in IT, but I have been working as chef since 3 years, and now my company wants to sponsor as well. Now, what can I do?
Look, as I said in my previous answer, the question is whether or not you satisfy the requirement to get the successful skill assessment as a chef. Given that you have got 3 years experience, if you have worked at a skill level, you may be able to satisfy skill assessment through RPL pathway. We can look into further details.
एकाउन्टिङको ट्रेनिङ भिजाबाट फ्युचरमा कम्पनीले स्पोन्सर गर्छु भनेको छ। यो सिनारियोमा के हुन्छ दाइ? कम्पनीको सबै रिक्वायरमेन्ट पुग्छ?
That's good thing, company requirement is fulfilled. But another thing is 407 visa, which is also called training visa, is designed for somebody who has got some level of experience and would like to hone their skills with further experience. If you have experience as accountant at a skill level, I would go for 482 as opposed to 407 for various other reasons, which can be discussed privately.
सर, सबैले एभियन र ट्याक्स डिफरेन्स हो भन्छ। खास कुरा के हो? के एभियनमा जति काम गरे पनि हुन्छ अनि एभियन र ट्याक्समा दुईवटामै काम गर्न पाइन्छ र?
From a migration law perspective, student visa has a condition that would allow you to work only 40 hours a fortnight. That means you can't exceed your working hours more than 40 hours on any given fortnight. But in terms of tax and cash, that's related to tax laws, and then somebody who is expert in tax laws will be able to guide you in this regard.
दाइ, मेरो बुढोको डिपेन्डेन्ट भिजा लाग्यो, but he is in Nepal. Is there any way he can come here? Please help me through this.
As I said in previous video, getting Australian visa approved is one thing, and then getting into Australia in the time of COVID is another. You have to have a compelling case to demonstrate that he should be allowed to travel. It is a normal process. You can go to DHA, Department of Home Affairs website. There is a clear-cut guidelines, and you can, if you think you fit in one of those criteria, you are welcome to apply.
20 hours ट्याक्समा गरेर बाँकी क्यासमा हान्दा पनि थाहा हुन्छ सर? इफ दे वान्ट टु नो एभ्री विक क्यास डिपोजिट कहाँबाट आयो भन्दा के आन्सर दिने?
As I said previously, this question is related to tax laws and not covered by migration law. Therefore, I would redirect this question to somebody who is expert in tax laws.
Sir, how long is the student visa processing time for on-source?
इट्स बिन अलमोस्ट 2 months भिजा एक्सटेन्सनको लागि एप्लाई गरेको स्टिल भिजा आएको छैन.
With onshore student visa processing, they are processed according to the category they are in. For example, student doing any course have a different processing timeline as to student doing higher education. They range from 4 to 6 months. If you have exceeded 7 days from the estimated processing time, you are allowed to contact them and make an inquiry.
हजुर, पक्कै पनि आजको यस भिडियोमा यस कार्यक्रममा तपाईहरुको प्रश्नको उत्तर दिने हामीले कोसिस गर्यौं र साथसाथै तपाईहरुसँग पनि यस्तै एजुकेसन, माइग्रेसन, अस्ट्रेलियाको जीवनशैली र साथसाथै यहाँ सम्बन्धी कुनै पनि समस्या छ, कुनै पनि जिज्ञासा छ भने लेखेर पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ यसै भिडियोको कमेन्ट बक्समा र अर्को भिडियोमा अर्को अङ्कमा तपाईहरुको प्रश्नको उत्तर लिएर हामी फेरि पनि आउने छौं. अहिलेसम्म कार्यक्रम हेरेर साथ दिनुभयो त्यसको लागि हार्दिक आभार. कुनै पनि सुझाव सल्लाह या प्रतिक्रिया छ भने लेखेर पठाउनका लागि आग्रह गर्दै आजको यस एपिसोडबाट म बिदा माग्न चाहन्छु. तपाईको समय शुभ रहोस्. हवस् त, नमस्कार.
This program is brought to you by Baba Education Consultancy, versatile service with a personal touch.